Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Brawl Stars video. Today I'm going to be ranking all the different stunning and slowing effects in Brawl Stars. I think it's super helpful to know how the brawlers compare to each other in terms of fulfilling a specific role, in this case being someone who can stun or slow down opponents for easy kills. I already did this sort of thing for all healing effects in Brawl Stars if you want to go check that out after. But let's get into it. I'm going to split them into two sections, one for slowing, one for stunning. So let's start with the slowdown effects. So in last place, I'm going to put Piper's auto aimer gadget. It does have a range of about 7 tiles in any direction, but it does only slow them down for about half a second. You're not going to get much value out of the slowdown. The main value from this gadget comes from the pushback effect. So if you're looking for a brawler who can have effective slowdown, a gadget that can only be used 3 times and only slows them down for half a second really isn't too great. Also, you're not even guaranteed to hit the gadget in the first place, so it's not even a very consistent form of slowdown. Then next up we have B's Honey Molasses gadget. This is the one that spawns the small little tower with the honey circle surrounding it that's going to slow down all opponents in a 6 tile diameter, and it's basically infinite until the actual 1000 health is destroyed. So it almost instantly gets destroyed against throwers, which is why I put it down so low, because it's not going to stay up for too long, and the slow effect isn't going to get you too much value unless your opponent's team comp has no great way of taking out your tower, but it still can be a good slight advantage for certain points in the match depending on the different team comps that you're running and that you're facing. Next up is Shelly's Shell Shock Star Power. So this is going to slow down anyone that gets hit by her super shot, and since that has about 7 2/3 tile range, that's what I'm going with for essentially the range of this slowdown effect, and it's going to last for 3 seconds. It gives you a ton of time to either run away from them if you need to, or if you're in a mode like Brawl Ball where most of these slowdown effects are going to get a lot of value, lets you get in very close to them and finish them off before they have a chance themselves to run away or to run away with the ball. Then we're going to have Crow's Slowing Toxin gadget. Now this is going to slow down everyone who is currently poisoned with Crow's attack, and his normal attack is going to have an 8 2/3 tile range, so that large range is going to make it fairly easy to slow down multiple people at the same time, and that's why I put it up this high, even though it only does have a 2.5 second slowdown, which is lower than Shelly's Shell Shock, but that ease of hitting multiple people at the same time gives it a lot of extra value. Then we have B's Super, which has about a 9 tile range, and I made a whole video on just the geometry of this super, but it covers a really wide area. It's not too difficult to hit multiple people, and it slows them down for 3 seconds if you hit them with one of the bees that you're throwing. So this just has a bit more range and a bit more time for that slowdown as compared to the previous abilities. Next up is Jessie's Spark Plug gadget. This has about a 7 1/3 tile diameter around her turret, and when she activates it, just slows down anyone near her turret in that range for 4 seconds. So an extra second over B's Super and Shelly's Shell Shock Star Power. So that extra time is going to give you a lot more value and just a ton more time for your team to actually finish kills on people who got trapped in the turret's range. Then we have Barley's Sticky Syrup Mixer gadget. This is the one that spawns the circle of syrup around him and is going to last for 4 seconds, just like Jessie's gadget, and it's going to have a diameter of about 6 2/3 tiles, and I put it ahead of Jessie's Spark Plug simply because you're probably going to find yourself in more situations where people are getting close to you as Barley, like in Heist. If you're aggressing on the safe and bulls are trying to track you down using their super on you, people are going to try to get close to you often, whereas people are usually a bit more cautious at higher trophy levels of getting near Jessie's turret, and it's not as much of a threat. So I think this slowdown effect is going to be much more useful, and since Barley has higher DPS, it's going to pay off more for you because you're going to be able to deal more immediate damage once they're slowed down. Then I have put Spike's Super, which has about 5 1/3 tile diameter, and it lasts for 5 seconds, so it's a really long slowdown effect. It has huge amounts of area control, can pretty easily hit multiple people since you can throw it away from you, rather than these gadgets that I've been talking about a lot that you automatically spawn in a specified location. Spike Super gives you a lot of versatility and a lot of area control, and it lasts 5 seconds, which is just a huge amount of time. So that's why I took second place for the slowdown effects, and number 1 I'm putting Emz Super. It has a massive range. It has a diameter of about 11 1/3 tiles, and it still lasts for 5 seconds just like Spike Super. Since it's so huge and it goes through walls, it's really easy to hit a ton of people, slow them down, and you can get so much value out of this, especially in Brawl Ball when everyone's going to be near the goal and doing a lot of stuff. The fact that you can immediately slow down everyone within that huge range gives so much value, and that's why she is number 1 for this list. Now, moving on to the 4 stun effects. I am putting Gale's Blustery Blow star power in last place, and now that does not mean this is a bad star power by any means. This is almost always Gale's preferred star power, and it's extremely useful. It's just the fact that every stunning ability in Brawl Stars is insanely good, so being in last place here does not mean this is bad by any means. It's just that I think compared to the other ways you can stun people in the game, it is slightly worse, but Gale also has advantages through just his main attack and his main damage and the pushback effect of his super. So if you just want a bit of stunning on your team, I would include Gale. It lasts for a half a second, and his super just has a range of 10 tiles, so it's fairly easy to get people to push them into a wall, which is what causes that stun effect. So it's very nice to have that on the team, though if you want to go a bit more aggressive with the stunning on your comp, I would choose one of the other 3 abilities that I'm going to talk about. In third place, I'm putting Nita's Bear Paws gadget, and now this also stuns for only half a second, but it has a much better range. While it only has about a 5 1/3 tile diameter for the circle of effect that it covers centered around the bear, you can throw the bear far away from you and the bear can just walk far away from you. So the fact that you can basically control wherever this bear is going to be and wait for him to get in a place where you're gonna actually get value out of this gadget, that's why I put it above Gale's star power. Then in second place for the stun effects, I'm putting Bo's Snare A Bear star power. Now, I probably would have put this a bit lower if it wasn't for Bo's gadget that just came out that lets him instantly trigger his mines at any point during the match. So that means you can activate this stun effect when people get hit by your mines whenever you want, and it lasts 2 seconds, which is a huge amount of time and plenty of time for you and your teammates to finish off whoever got caught in those mines, and it just has a huge range. The mines spread out about like 7 tiles across, and you can throw them far away from you, so there's a lot of versatility with this stun effect. It's very easy to hit multiple people, and multiple people with a stun effect is so insanely valuable, and 2 seconds is just a great amount of time to have them stunned, just to guarantee that you can convert some kills. And then finally, number 1 for these stun effects is going to be Frank's Super, the only super in the game that lets you stun other people, unless you're including the star power for Gale, technically is caused by a super. But Frank's Super on his base kit has about a 7 tile range and stuns everyone who gets hit by it for 2 seconds, and it breaks through walls. It's fairly easy to hit people if you have a lot of practice with Frank. Obviously, people are going to try to stay as far away from you as possible, but in modes like Brawl Ball, you can use that pressure and just keep moving forward, and soon they will basically have nowhere to go, and you should be able to get a lot of value off of this super. Sometimes you do miss, it does happen, but I did put it above Bo's Snare A Bear simply because it's probably the easiest out of all these stun effects to hit multiple people with, because you have that ability to aim it in any specific direction, and also you just charge it up very easily. So if you really want to have heavy stun effects that will completely swing matchups, Frank is definitely the way to go. And now that might not be the most revolutionary information. I'm pretty sure a lot of people already knew that. Hopefully all these other rankings let you sort of see how well these different slow and stun effects compare to one another when you're considering, maybe I want to swap out this brawler for another brawler. You can sort of see what advantages you're gaining by doing that and what disadvantages you might also be gaining. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Turn on notifications, and don't forget to go into your settings and enable notifications there as well, or you won't get notifications whenever I post more helpful guides like this. But that's all for today, guys, so see you later.